Everyone enjoys a good trivia game, but what happens when the game ends up making you dumber than when you started? I've had my beef with 4Kids for a while now, and a year ago, I made a whole video talking about their biggest blunder. But One Piece was not their only attempt at a kids dub. At the end of the said video, I brought up this trivia question from the One Piece dub.
Who gave Luffy his lucky straw hat? Was it Usopp, Shanks, or Sonic?
And you would think there couldn't be a question more dumb than that. However, for every ounce of ridiculousness that was, it still could not compare to the infamous Trainer's Choice trivia from the 4Kids dub of Pokémon. So I thought it'd be interesting to go through some of the most notorious questions from the series. I'll be going in order based on episode, and with that, let's get started.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Mudkip? Okay, trainers, if you chose Plusle, you were right.
This one is wrong. While Mudkip may not have its dual type ground yet, and therefore is weak to electric, Roselia is also super effective and resist water. While I don't expect children to know much about resistance, the question asked which is the best choice, and out of the three options, Roselia is the best.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Shiftry? Okay, trainers, if you chose Torkoal, you were right.
Torkoal!
Both Torkoal and Tailo are super effective against Shiftry. There's not really much of a difference between the two since they both resist grass, and because this is made for kids, I don't really think they're going to understand stats. While I agree Torkoal would be the safer choice, the fact that both it and Tailo are correct makes this question problematic.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Kirlia? Okay, trainers, if you chose Combuskin, you were right. Combuskin!
Combuskin is weak to Psychic, so it's actually the worst choice. Either Togetic or Graveler would be the better option. Neither one really has a distinct advantage or disadvantage over the other.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Forretress? Okay, trainers, if you chose Seviper, you were right.
Forretress is immune to poison, so once again, this is the worst choice. They also misspelled Fortress, as it has two R's, not one. As for the correct choice, technically both Minun and Swellow are neutral. If I had to pick one, however, I'd say Swellow is the better choice, being it's a flying type and Fortress is still part bug. Plus, it just has better stats than Minun.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Seedot? Okay, trainers, if you chose Surskit, you were right. Surskit!
Surskit's bug typing is super effective, but both of Delibird's types are also super effective. I'll admit this question almost fooled me since I initially thought Seedot was a dual grass and dark type. However, since it's actually a pure grass type, Surskit's bug type only does 2 times damage and not 4. Had Seedot been grass dark like its evolutions, then Surskit would have the advantage. But since Delibird is an ice flying type, it has an extra type advantage than Surskit.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Manectric? Okay, trainers, if you chose Larvitar, you were right. Larvitar.
Both Larvitar and Swampert are immune and super effective against Manectric. Either one is a good choice, but with this being made for kids, most kids would choose Swampert since it's a final evolution.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Wooper? Okay, trainers, if you chose Spheal, you were right. Spheal!
Spheal may resist Wooper's water attacks, but Zubat is immune to its ground attacks, so it's the better choice.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Ariados? Okay, trainers, if you chose Onix, you were right.
Alright, so there's a couple of flaws with this question. First off, that's not how you spell Onix. Normally I can understand spelling mistakes, but Onix is one of the most iconic Pokemon, and most fans know it's spelled with an I, not a Y. As for the answer, while Onix is the better choice here as it has an extra resistance compared to Blaziken, most kids would choose Blaziken since it's a fire type and final evolution. These close calls are somewhat questionable. However, since I'm also analyzing the flaws along with errors, I really think they should have replaced one of the two since this is supposed to be made for kids and there's definitely some advanced level thinking happening here.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon is the best choice to battle Meta-type? Okay, trainers, if you chose Combuskin, you were right. Combuskin!
That's not Nuzleaf. This is Nuzleaf. The image they used was Beautifly. That's not even the worst part. Combuskin is once again weak to Psychic. So that's far from the right choice. Both of Beautifly's types are super effective against Meditite, and it resists both fighting Psychic, so it's clearly the best choice. Now, if they meant to put Nuzleaf there, then that's a different story. There wouldn't really be a correct choice since Combuskin and Heracross are weak to Psychic, and Nuzleaf is weak to fighting. Meditite would solo all three, but I'm going based on pictures, and since Beautifly is the one shown, it's the best option.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon evolves into Seviper? Okay, trainers, if you chose Arbok, you were right.
Well, here it is. The most infamous trainer's choice that left many Pokemon fans scratching their heads when they said Arbok evolves into Seviper. Needless to say, that is wrong. Seviper is a standalone Pokemon. It does not evolve from anything, and it does not evolve into anything. It has no evolutionary connectivities at all. They really should have fact-checked this stuff if they were going to do a trivia designed for kids to, I assume, teach them about Pokemon. It was a decent idea, but executed poorly, and for many kids who already knew a lot about Pokemon at the time, this question left many of them, myself included, feeling stupid.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon is the best choice to battle Ludicolo? Okay, trainers, if you chose Camerupt, you were right.
Camerupt is 4 times weak to water, so that would be a horrible choice. Both Mightyena and Duskull are neutral, so there's, once again, not really a correct answer, but either of the two would be better.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon is the best choice to battle Tyrode? Okay, trainers, if you chose Exploud, you were right.
Exploud.
That's not Nuzleaf. Once again, this is Nuzleaf. I'm not really sure how they confused the Nuzleaf with Celio this time, but the answer isn't any better. Exploud is weak to fighting, and either way, Nuzleaf and Celio are also weak to fighting, so Dustox is the correct choice here, as it's the only one that resists fighting.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon is the best choice to battle Magby? Okay, trainers, if you chose Lombre, you were right. Lombre!
Lombre is super effective against Magby, but so is Solrock, and it resists fire, so it's the better choice.
Trainers, which one of these Pokemon is the best choice to battle Baltoy? Okay, trainers, if you chose Lapras, you were right.
Now all 3 options are technically correct. It's hard to know which is best. Once again, this comes down to the fact that it's something made for kids, and most kids would probably choose Meganium. Both of Lapras's types are super effective, but Ledian's bug type is also, and it resists. So It's really hard to say which is best, as Baltoy would get murked no matter who he faced.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Camerupt? Okay, trainers, if you chose Nuzleaf, you were right. Nuzleaf, Nuz.
None of the given Pokemon would be effective against Camerupt. They all would get murked. There's not really a correct choice here, but even if there was, it sure as hell ain't Nuzleaf.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Ninjask? Okay, trainers, if you chose Dugong, you were right. Gong!
Well, Ninjask is 4 times weak to ice. It's also 4 times weak to rock, so Nosepass would be an equal choice. In either way, all 3 options have an advantage and resistance against Ninjask, so he's pretty much screwed.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Spoink? Okay, trainers, if you chose Makuhita, you were right. Makuhita!
Makuhita is weak to Psychic, and so is Quillfish. Swampert is the correct choice here.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Flaffy?
Flaffy is misspelled. Once again, I understand spelling mistakes, but you have to fact check this stuff.
Trainers, which Pokémon would be most effective against Plusle and Minun? Okay, trainers, if you chose Mudkip, you were right. Mudkip!
Mudkip is weak to electric, so that's a horrible choice. Trico is the only one that resisted. I understand where they went wrong here, and know this, Mudkip is a pure water type. It does not become part ground type until it evolves.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Crawdons? Okay, trainers, if you chose Chinchou, you were right.
Chinchou may be super effective against Crawdon's water typing, but Voltbeat is super effective against its dark typing. Either one would be a good choice.
Trainers, which of these Pokémon is not a normal type?
They misspelled Flaffy a second time. I don't know what else to say, they just misspelled Flaffy.
Trainers, which one of these Pokémon is the best choice to battle Larvitar? Okay, trainers, if you chose Trico, you were right. Trico!
Well, Trico is the better choice here. Carvanha also has an advantage over Larvitar. So, yeah.
Trainers, which Pokémon would last longest against a psychic attack? Okay, trainers, if you chose Teddiursa, you were right. Teddiursa?
Poochyena is a dark type and is immune to psychic, so that's obviously the right choice. I don't know how they got that one wrong.
Trainers, which of these Pokémon...
What do you have against Flaffy, 4Kids? This is 3 times! 3 times! I mean, once or twice is one thing, but how do you use Flaffy 3 times for your trivia quiz and misspell it every time? I know Grammarly doesn't exist yet, but whip out the Pokemon Handbook if you have to, 4Kids. God damn!
Trainers, which Pokemon is super effective against its own type? Okay, trainers, if you chose Salamence, you were right.
Salamence is a dragon type and therefore is weak to dragon, but Graveler is a rock and ground type. Therefore, it's also weak to ground. This one really comes down to interpretation, as it's a bit unclear what exactly they were asking. Either way, both are right, so they really should have just picked something else.
Trainers, if Arcanine fought Kirlia, who would have the advantage? Okay, trainers, if you chose Arcanine, you were right.
Neither of the 2 options has a distinct advantage over the other as of Gen 3. Along with that, there never was a battle between the 2 in the anime, so children wouldn't really know based on watching. Some would agree Arcanine is correct since it can learn moves like Bite and Crunch, which are super effective against Kirlia, and just overall has better stats. But by that logic, the same could be said for any of the previous questions. Going purely based on type matchup, neither is the correct choice, as neither one has a distinct advantage or disadvantage against the other. Well, this might have backfired in retrospect, as I feel like I lost 3 of my 4 remaining brain cells going over this. We may have been wrong about 4Kids. Their trivia wasn't intended to be for kids, it may have actually been made by kids. I'll take an IQ test to see if I'm still smarter than a 5-year-old. Leave a like and comment down below, and with that, I'll see you next time.